Well, reporting out this morning that X has had a minor drop in use, but a 25% increase in revenue since changing the brand to X. This is based on an analysis by third parties, but good news if true. We all want X to succeed for a very long list of reasons, but not the least of which is we don't want Elon taking any more money out of Tesla. Anyway, markets appear to be opening mixed to lower to very flat this morning. Tesla, not very volatile yesterday, not very volatile this morning, but slightly so far up, better than the market. Anyway, we'll check all that at the end. And I'll give you some analysis of why I think Tesla is doing what it's doing. This is Randy Kirk. Hit the like and the subscribe and the notify. You definitely want to hear from Brian White later today. He's going to give us an update on what's taking place down in Corpus Christi with that refinery. And I think that's going to be a really interesting report. And then, of course, did I forget to mention Patreon? Oh, yeah, Patreon. So you know what to do. Go down there, click on Patreon, get over to Patreon, get your free audiobook. All right. So this is in the it's nice to have someone repeat your words almost 100% department. Okay, so according to this report, the U.S. housing market may be broken, and the Federal Reserve's aggressive interest rate hiking cycle over the past year could be to blame. This is according to top economist Mohammed El-Erian. You know this guy. He's one of the #1 guys on CNBC. There's a real issue as to whether we've broken the housing market, the Alliance chief economic advisor said in an interview on CNBC on Monday, pointing to higher mortgage rates weighing on the market. The average rate of the 30-year fixed market, again, down at 7%, 7.48, according to Mortgage News Daily yesterday. High rates have frozen the housing market over the past year by crimping both supply and demand. Ah, yes. So lovely. Many prospective buyers are priced out of the market due to higher costs of borrowing. Meanwhile, existing homeowners are discouraged from putting their properties up for sale, as many are looking to cling on to, anyway, horrible. Many are looking to keep their low interest rates at which they financed their homes years ago. This has kept prices elevated even as demand slips. Yes. Okay, so I just telling you, I've been saying this for how long? How long have you been watching this show? How long have I been talking about this as being the opposite effect that the Fed wants, and the only way it's going to stop? I think I just mentioned this yesterday, actually. Okay, the result is a housing market in a state of limbo with affordability unlikely to improve unless mortgage rates dial back more significantly, experts say. When you go from record low mortgage rates to levels that we haven't seen for almost 20 years, you've destroyed both demand and supply. And that's the irony, is that supply has come down and demand has come down as well. That's the way you destroy the housing market, said El-Erian. We've got to be really careful because the housing market is central to the economy. Yes, and it's the #1 reason why they're keeping the interest rates high, is because the housing prices. What are you going to do? I mean, it's just, yeah. Okay, part 2 of It's Nice to Hear Your Own Words Repeated Back by Experts. Wall Street analysts currently have an average 12-month S&P 500 price target of 5,034, suggesting about a 14.1% upside from current levels. That price target also reflects consensus expectations that the S&P 500 will break above the January 2022 peak of around 4,818 and make new all-time highs within the year. George Ball, chairman of Sanders Morris Harris, says the combination of raising U.S. wages and low unemployment, is likely enough to keep the S&P 500 on a bullish path for now. True. So there you go. So yes, the bull is going to be fine, depending on Thursday's print. And even if Thursday's print is higher than 4.1, which we certainly hope it is not, the bull won't like that in the short term, but hopefully over time will pick back up again as they realize inflation is really dead. But it will be not good. It will be bad if the print comes in higher than, even at 4.1 or higher than 4.1 on the core year over year. That's the bad number. We want it to be 3.9 or less. Then the bull is off and running. according to me and confirmation from this George Ball fellow. Okay. Truflation is down a bit today, but it was up strongly yesterday. But the increase is still 100% located in gasoline and owned housing, not rental housing. And I told you again 7 months ago, housing would be more expensive from April to September. It will be, and then it'll go down in the winter, and then it'll go back up next spring. Okay, this is not investment advice, but I'm telling you what's going to happen. Okay. Tesla's insurance registrations, and this is in China, in the week ending August 27 are particularly impressive since they represent an improvement over numbers that were already good. In August 2nd and 3rd week, Tesla's China insurance registrations were flat, with 14,000 units being registered in the week ending August 13 and 13,900 units being registered in the week ending August 20th. But 17,000 units were registered last week. It would appear that Tesla's China insurance registrations have reached 56,400 units this month, meaning they have a real shot at a record for the month of August. In the first 7 months of the year, China battery electric vehicle demand has risen about 25% year over year, according to data aggregated by Citi analyst Jeff Chung. That's strong, but August sales are set to fall a little year over year. Oh, really? Okay. And yet Tesla is having a big gain. Nice. All right. Net earnings for the first 6 months ending June 30th reached 10.95 billion won, up 204.7%. No, that is not Tesla. That is BYD. Their net earnings, 204% up compared to a year early on a 72% rise in revenue, BYD said in a stock market filing. Well, okay, that 200% increase in earnings was good, but it didn't compare to their 500% increase in earnings on the first quarter. But the stock is up. No, they're doing very well. BYD is doing great. And normally you would expect something of a knock-on effect from their success in China to also being seen as something good for Tesla in China. But again, there hasn't been very good news in the overall market for Tesla yesterday, certainly. We'll see what's happening this morning here in a couple of minutes. Anyway, strong China numbers, good BYD. NIO headlines were good also, even though NIO did not hit their numbers. Their guidance was strong for the third quarter. Again, good guidance for the third quarter for NIO, and BYD putting in some good numbers. And the insurance number is good for Tesla in China. So you would think all of that would be enough. All right, what's going on? Why is Tesla a little bit stuck? Let's first of all, I'm just going to check to see if it is stuck right this minute. We're not going to talk about all the numbers yet. So Tesla is doing well this morning. With the NASDAQ up, Tesla's up stronger. And stronger than its group. Yes, stronger than the Magnificent Seven, but it's still 2.5 points or something. So it's not doing great. And it was down yesterday in a market that was slightly up. So what's going on here? There was a lot of negative news over the weekend. There was a lot of negative news yesterday. And when I say negative news, I did a whole story on it last night. I'll put a card here if you want to go take a look at it. I talked about the fudsters out there. The negative news was stupid. It wasn't true. It was ridiculous. But I'm not going to go through it all again. You can, go take a look at it. But the main bad news that came out was Elon's drive on Friday night, which you and I, we all know that drive was amazing, just absolutely stunning, and tells us that FSD is basically here. It's just a matter of a couple more months of really running these things over and over and over again through the simulators and over again, getting more data, edge cases, etc. And this thing could pop at any moment. We could be looking at full-on FSD. But the one stoplight, of course, was a thing that everybody concentrated on. And of course, that's what you would expect from the idiots. I'm sorry, did I say it that way? Anyway, that's what happened. I think that, and there was other negative news on other unrelated to that issue. And so you saw Tesla, soft yesterday. Now, maybe they're over it today. Maybe they're kind of going, oh, wait a minute. Maybe we should look at that video ourselves and see what really happened. Maybe some of the investing community are getting a wake-up call that, no, that was actually a really, really good video. And maybe they're watching my channel, and that's why they're figuring it out. Anyway, whatever the case may be, Tesla is up again a little bit stronger this morning. We'll see what happens, because in general, Tesla should be doing very well right now, not only based on the FSD test on Friday, but they should be doing well because people should be starting to anticipate the announcement, which could happen at any moment with regard to Cybertruck and or Highland and our AI Day 3. I guess that'll come later, but certainly the other two announcements could come at any minute. Okay, it's time to look at the situation here in detail. All right, so we got Tesla up 2.75 with the NASDAQ up 33 points, the Dow up 80. So again, we're starting off the day like yesterday with the Dow and the NASDAQ up normally against one another. And when I say normally, like for the last 30 years, but typically lately, and including by the close yesterday, the NASDAQ was doing better than the Dow in terms of percentage increase. The S&P up 12, that's again normal in comparison. And then the rest of the Magnificent Seven is a mixed bag, but more down than up. And then Cathie Wood stocks are also a mixed bag, but more up than down. Now let's go in and take a look at the other items here this morning. We've got the crypto still in the low 26,000s, really going nowhere. We've got the dollar ticking back up just a little bit. We've got gold stuck now in a range, going nowhere. Oil also in a range, right around 80, really tight range, like 79.5 to 80.5, super tight range, really interesting. Then we've got bonds unchanged this morning at 4212. That's good news. It was up earlier. I'm really happy to see that. And the 2-month is also showing unchanged as of right now, and the 2-year just up slightly again, increasing that inversion. But the 10-year actually down now. I mean, it's moving kind of a lot for the bond market. It's now down, and it's down to 4.208. Boy, would we love to see that go under 4. Oh my gosh, that would really tell us that what the bond market thinks is going to happen with the PCE on Thursday. All right, so that's where everything's standing right now. Remember to go take a look at last night's information. There's the card right there. And hit like, hit subscribe, hit notify, join Patreon. There's only 3 days left for me to make my goal. Last month, we blew it out of the park. What's going on, guys? We got, how are we going to get 14 more signups in just 3 days? Come on. $5 get you a free audio. $10 get you 2 free audios. Pick any one of the 4. These are outstanding books, all selling well. How have you bought yours yet? Have you subscribed yet? Have you joined Patreon? Come on, help the channel. It's Randy Kirk, and it's been amazing and fantastic and awesome talking to you this morning.